Welcome back in, everybody, to the second game of Spirit versus One Move. And that last game, One Move, it didn't go as planned for them, but Team Spirit had a great time, ending it in 20, I want to say 21 minutes. Yeah, 21 minutes and 32 seconds. Hurry, coming into the second game here, One Move, they want to make this game last a little bit longer, but, with how strong Team Spirit were, how did they go about doing that?
That was your conclusion. So one
Yeah,
move, they're
yeah.
not gunning for the victory. They're gunning for a 23-minute game. Yeah,
Just maybe a 30-minute game.
yeah. I'm gonna stop you right there. Stop with the bias towards Team Spirit. One move. They're still a Dota team, right? So if Team
Of
Spirit
course.
in the previous, I'm kidding, of course, Rob. Don't worry. But anyway, Team Spirit in the previous game, they even though Team Spirit rarely does this, there were times at that game where they're kind of underestimating their opponents and diving a bit too far, right? Then they stop themselves and say, no, this is not good. So one move, if they manage to play a normal game of Dota, make it last a little bit longer without the towers constantly falling, because a tier 2 tower falling 15 minutes into the game, that is easily preventable. You need to not get stomped. And laning phase wise, well, everyone can learn that. Though I did touch upon it with Automo when we casted 2 days ago, that One Move's biggest weakness has been the laning phase, right? So it's kind of tough. But if they would survive that part of the map, Gilgear tends to make some nice plays with some of his heroes. Munkushi is a really stable and a really good carry, I think. I think in some stronger teams, this guy would actually be really, really good. Though every Eastern European carry is actually pretty solid. But overall, I think One Move, they've got a shot to play a normal game against Team Spirit. Just don't allow yourself to get absolutely demolished everywhere on the map, because that is easy to do. Just put it in your mind, how do we not lose the lanes? You approach it in the draft, you approach it in the gameplay, and you go from there.
Yeah, and it looks like Team Spirit going to go back for that Rubik, so they really do like this hero, and it was popular even before the latest patch. But Team Spirit, I mean, what were the combos that we saw last tour were like the Centaur in the off lane. So that Centaur Rubik off lane was an absolute menace for teams. The Primal Beast as well. I think you get the telekinesis off with the just moving yourself through with a trample, but One Move come out with swinging with the tiny and the Ench. So Team Spirit, what do they want to be going for next? I mean, talk to me about the Ench as well, because the Ench, one of those heroes that pops up from time to time. But what's the real strength of this hero coming in here for One Move?
Well, I've seen it more and more. Usually when something new comes up and you don't necessarily know what to do, you go back to something that's tried and tested that's always going to be nice. You're always going to have a solid lane with an Enchantress. This hero never does anything special, no matter what changes you make to it. And of course, it's a decent one against the Beastmaster Team Spirit played earlier, though I'm not sure if they're going to be wanting to do it again. So overall, we are seeing some Enchantresses as the Naya picks to the Beastmaster, or just a straight up way to make sure that you get to play the game.
Yeah. And
Team Spirits
looking through Spirit, they are going to go for that Centaur. So it is going to be the Rubik Centaur offlane. And yeah, again, it was just so strong in that last tour. The Team Spirit, we saw for the majority of the time that the Centaur was being banned out if the Rubik got through. So One Move coming up against this lane, how do you even try and start to deal with this lane as, the carry in this lane?
You need something that can stay away, right? There's no other way, or a hero that is self-sustainable. Monkey King comes to mind, right? Heroes like a Slark, like an Ursa, who usually do well against fat heroes, don't work so well against Centaur, because he actually does a lot of damage as well, right? So that is where you need to adjust a little bit. So as I mentioned, heroes like a Monkey King or something that stays away. Sniper, let's say, would be a solid one. That is the laning phase wise when you come against it. The thing is that a lot of those heroes that do well in the lanes against the Centaur, well, later on in the game they struggle against the Stampede.
Yeah, and looking at it as well, you see the Undying's been banned out. The Ember Spirit goes away once again. Team Spirit wants to get rid of that. Even with the nerfs to the Ember Spirit, do you still think that's like one of the top tier mids in the game, or has it been knocked off the shelf just a little bit?
You're gonna have to repeat that one because I was looking at the Hitch the Ride and how it changed, right? So I'm gonna have to apologize to you.
No worries. Yeah, just looking at the ban on the Ember Spirit, is that still one of those top tier mid
Yeah,
laners?
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, that's just the case. Every time when a patch comes out, a team that tends to experiment too much will fall flat on its head. You can get new heroes in and out, something that's
Mhm.
buffed, something that's nerfed, you get a little bit out, something that's buffed, you get in. But the whole idea of how the game is played, especially with no map changes, stays the same.
Yeah.
And the heroes are good because of how the map looks, because how the game is played, not necessarily because the hero is incredibly powerful. Lena wasn't only good because she had such great stats, but also because it was a range hero meta, and that all of the other carries really weren't looking all that good, right? So that's how the metas are set.
Yeah. Do you think the meta's changed a little bit to allow those melee heroes back into it? Just a
Team
touch, or are you
spirits
still
turn
looking
to
at
ban.
primarily the draw ranges, the
Radiant team
snipers,
ban.
those kind of heroes to pick you up and take you to the victory? Even like the Terrorblade to a point where they ranged most of the time during fights.
I think with the Radiance change and with the Spectre coming into play a lot more, that the range
10
heroes
seconds
got
remaining.
hit a
Team
little bit
spirits
just
turn
by
to
that,
ban.
right? But overall, if this meta would go for long enough, I mean, with the changes nowadays, we would still end up close to where we were before it. Because what happens is some heroes get nerfed, some heroes get buffed. And you are used to the strength of a hero. So if you play it, you're going to
10 seconds
overextend.
remaining.
And that's why you're not going to play because you're going to be losing quite a lot with it. But if
5
enough time
seconds
passes
remaining.
for your brain to reset and for you to forget what you could do, and you just come up with new patterns and new approaches to team fights, the same heroes will return most of the times.
Yeah. Oh, well, I should be fine then because my brain resets every time I click play Dota. Uh, and yeah, we see the Timbersaw being banned out here as well. The Morphlin's going to be gone. Morphlin, again, one of those just strong heroes that pops up from time to time. So Team Spirit, what else do they want to be removing here? Just looking at one move's draft, like you say, the Ench, obviously you got the block pick for the Beastmaster, so not even needed to look for that. Do you expect this to be here? I mean, one move with the Tiny Enchantress coming out, more than likely I'm expecting these to be the two supports here for one
Oh,
move. So
Rob?
yes.
That
Radiant
was
team ban.
Rob just got cut off there.
Did I? Am I still here?
Your
Hello?
microphone.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
You hear me, Rob?
I can hear you.
It's looking like we lost Rob, even though I see him. So I'm very much
Production?
10
surprised to
seconds.
what's happening
Radiant
right
team
now.
pick.
Okay.
Team spirits turn to pick.
Right, weird.
Oh.
I am still popping up on Discord, getting the green
Okay, yeah, I
circle.
hear you. I hear you
Am I
now.
back?
I hear you.
Okay. Weird. I don't know what that was then.
Yeah,
Huh.
that was very weird. Your face was fine, everything was fine. It's
10
not your
seconds
internet,
remaining.
but just for a second, it was like bzzzt, and nope, nothing up. So I
5
couldn't really hear
seconds
your
remaining.
sentence till the end. One move again, go for a Death Prophet, and I'm very much surprised that they're continuing with this hero. We're seeing that a lot of teams are kind of staying away from the Death Prophet, whereas they are still forcing it.
Yeah, I suppose it is still a really strong hero. You can flex it in that mid lane or the off lane. Great tower taker as well. So it doesn't surprise me to see the Death Prophet in there. They ban out the anti-mage as well. Not wanting to let Yatoro get that for a second time. But yeah, so I was saying that the Tiny and the Ench, probably the two supports already for one move. So they have those locked in. Would you expect the Tiny to shift from that position for, or do you expect it to be, that just that support hero here for one move?
Considering that now we see a Death Prophet, I'm thinking that it's again going to be Aincrad playing it, so I would expect Gilgir to play it, especially because he has shown that he's pretty good on the hero and he likes playing it.
Yeah.
Also, his laning phase on Tiny in general is solid. He understands roughly what to do. And
Team
he has
spirits turn
not only
to
one
pick.
move, but Gilgir in particular has had a problem with the laning phase. I remember we had a LAN in Serbia, a local LAN where Gilgir comes, and obviously he's the best player at that point, top 50. He is crushing it with his team, Division 1, right? And in the laning stage, he would struggle. I'm not saying that players here are
10
bad,
seconds
but they're
remaining.
not on his caliber. They're not Division 1 caliber players. At least
5
most of them
seconds
are not. We
remaining.
have like LeBron, Barania, but that's about it, right?
Radiant team
So he would
picks
struggle in lane. With the
Alchemist.
Tiny, he understands what to do. And you were asking about the Alchemist, where there it is. Considering that the Bane now is slightly stronger, you have a good guy to protect the Alchemist in the lane. You do well in the lane, you get an early Radiance. Well, rest is history. So Team Spirit, they're really gunning to end today's day really fast.
10 seconds
Yeah, they
remaining.
must have something else to do right after this that they've, they've got to get themselves to. So
5
looking to
seconds
end the series
remaining.
in 2 and quite quick games as well as one move. Looking for their next pick. Offlaners up against the Alchemist. What is it that, in fact, no, do you actually run this as a mid Alchemist or do you expect this to be the carry Alchemist?
Kind of feel like it's going to be a carry Alchemist. Team Spirit, I think, played one Alchemist game. I think they lost. I don't know if it was the major now or the DPC. So many games have been watched that I don't really
Team
remember.
Spirits
But
turn
overall,
to battle.
it was Diataro that played it.
Yeah, and the Abaddon comes out for one move. So looking at potentially an off lane Abaddon, and I am seeing on Pro Tracker Abaddon being played in that off lane a lot more, becoming one of those heroes that apparently just that little meta
10
shift gave it
seconds
the opening to
remaining.
become one of the most popular heroes in the pub matches, at least.
5
I've seen
seconds
carry
remaining.
Abaddons as well with the Radiance, so that
Really?
wouldn't surprise me either. Yeah, in top games as well. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to play all that much. I kind of got disappointed when the patch came out. I was ready
Hmm.
for the new map to learn all the new intricacies. Then when I
Radiant
saw the
team
patch was
ban.
kind of similar, I didn't play all that much, so I didn't get into it. But whenever I watch it, it's there tends to be an Abaddon in some of the top games and even in the carry role. So I'm looking forward to that. That would be fun to see. And Tiny Abaddon doesn't really seem like the greatest lane, especially
10 seconds
against an
remaining.
Alchemist. Two melee heroes, one of which has very low armor. I wouldn't want to be in your skin though.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay,
Team
okay. And
Spirits turn
okay,
to
so they ban out the
ban.
Storm Spirit. So yeah, one move thinking that it's going to be the carry Alchemist as well. Looking to ban out Lal. Again, looking at mid laners, you could still go for something like the is the puck still there? The puck's still there, so it offers a lot of control. I mean, looking at Team Spirit, they have a lot of control anyway with Rubik Telekinesis, the
10
Sensor Storm,
seconds remaining.
pretty much everything in Bane's kit, the Unstable Concoction from the Alchemist as well. So Team
5
Spirit, they have a
seconds
lot of control in
remaining.
these fights. Is there anything you'd like to see for Lal to pick up here to finish off the lineup for
Radiant
Team Spirit?
team ban.
Well, all of those are easily removed still by the Abaddon, so
Yeah.
that's one thing to come into play. You know, a lot of those stuns are single target, right? Or even Centaur stun, even though it can be AOE, it still can be a single target one as well. So Aphotic Shield is going to be quite nice here, especially
10
in combination with the
seconds
Death Prophet, who, of course, does like to be deep into the fight. So,
5 seconds
well,
remaining.
again, I would like something
Team
that does damage
Spirits
for Laurel.
turn to pick.
Zeus gets banned out. The Snapfire is in the pool, so that could be a hero he wants to go for.
Yeah, I'm just looking to. I think I still like the puck, just for something to
Yep.
keep them, locked down in like the acid spray. The setup for the Centaur Warrior that's done as well.
10 seconds
Just keeping
remaining.
one move in place and keeping them anchored in that one position for the
5
fight.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad. If it is a puck, then I wouldn't mind
Radiant
that Prophet
team
being sent to the
pick.
offlane tiny mid. But they're gonna go for the Snapfire. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Laurel hero. It goes well. Again, you're not gonna experiment with a lot of heroes. You are bringing
Yeah.
in the Alchemist. You're bringing in the Bane. Everything else stays the same. I think this is a very nice way to round it up by Team Spirit.
Okay, and one
10
move with
seconds
one hero
remaining.
left to pick here. So, are you expecting this, Avalon? Are we still
5
looking for an
seconds
offlane here for
remaining.
one move to come up against the Alchemist?
I'd love to see a Timbersaw. It's banned
Yeah.
out. Nope, scratch that. So that's pretty unfortunate.
Choose your
But it
hero.
is gonna be a carry Abaddon, but it's not gonna be an offlane hero that gets picked up because Aincrad will be playing the puck. And again, a lot of the stuns are single target. You have an Abaddon to protect you,
Yeah.
so the puck will be fine. Is this lineup of one move going to win? Well, after what we've seen in the previous game, I don't think so. You would have to outdraft the enemy so hard. But looking at the lanes, they should go slightly better for them. So I do believe one move will get to play Dota.
Yeah, and so last game it was all about those Battle Furies and who got to that first, and it was Yatoro that won that race. Looking into this, do you expect it to be the Abaddon rush in towards that Radiance here as well as the Alchemist?
Yep. I do expect that one to happen. I think it's very, very likely. Here, the thing is, Aincrad needs to do some work in this game. He really needs to be on point. It's very important that he gets those nice early levels. It's very important that his support secure the runes for him, which they can. And then it's on him to break up the laning phase. Because a long laning phase for Team Spirit will allow them to stack, it will allow them to do fine, their towers are not going to fall, but if Aincrad is moving around the map, if he's constantly threatening you, then it's going to be a problem, so we're going to be looking at him.
Yeah, and again, Munkushi, you talked about how he's probably the linchpin in the draft here for one move. So being able to get to that quick rate, get himself going, and I suppose Abaddon has a lot more built-in protection, like you say, with the Aphotic Shield, with the borrowed time at level 6 as well. He doesn't get pressured that much from the side of Team Spirit, as much as the PA was in that last game. So do you expect here, I mean, Team Spirit, do they still want to try and do the same? You apply the pressure to that lane as the offlaner, and then move around as a team to take it?
They're gonna try. You didn't play against the Abaddon too much, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. And guys, before we get into the second game, we're going to take a quick word from our sponsors over at EGB, so check it out.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Welcome back in as we get going here for game number 2 of Team Spirit versus One Move. And we can already see in the mid lane, Gilga who's trying to get that ward down. I'm not sure which one went down first. I think it was the Dire ward. So they know where this Radiant ward is. You know, they can come in for the D ward if they want to. And Gilga maybe just hanging around for that deny if he needs to. But who's got the sentry? In fact, there's going to be the backstab coming through here as well from Team Spirit on the other side of the river. Take a look at the map. It looks like they are backing themselves away.
Yeah, you want to use the Alchemist Unstable Concoction. I mean, the spell right now with that slight buff level 1 it used to be like the most powerful spell. Now it's even worse. Like, I really wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that one. 2.2 second stun, 150 damage. It's actually insane.
Yeah, and Afterlife is going to be walking up the hill. There goes Miposhka with the lockdown here. He's got that Nightmare going, and yeah, it's going to be an unstable concoction right onto the Death Prophet. Death Prophet, the Scatterblast, and Yatoro picks up that first kill. Really well done. In fact, they're even going to be able to get 2 bouncy runes off this, I do believe, as well. Yeah.
Yep. There's no one on that side, so they're going to be completely fine. I expected them to give the kill to Larl. Of course, it's always better to give it to the mid laner. Yep. You have a safe laner who needs the extra farm, but the Alchemist gets his farm with the Grieval's Greed at some point. You know, that is when you accelerate. You don't necessarily need the first blood.
Yeah, and you can see the odds on the screen there as well. You know, it's a little bit more in favor of Spirit this time. 4.6 to 1 here for One Move. So EGB a little bit more confident that Spirit, you know, they're going to be able to wrap it up once again in this second game.
Yeah, well, after what happened in the previous one, they got the first blood as well. You know, I'm 4 times odds, not surprising whatsoever. Team Spirit are looking like the stronger team, a lot stronger team currently, even more so than coming into the game with their you know, with their performances lately. They've just outdid themselves.
And just going back to the Alchemist stun, like you say, max stun at level 1, 2.2 seconds. That's the perfect time for a Meteor Hammer channel, you know? Is that something that we might see on Yatoro? As it looks like, once again, there is going to be some aggression coming out. Collapse, you know, he's going to be fine. But on the top lane, Gilga, he took another Unstable Concoction to the face. Wasn't a full charge this time now as well. As the Nightmare comes out, Yatoro, he has another Unstable Concoction ready to go. Gilga is going to go down. Yatoro picks up the kill. Level 2 goes for the Acid Spray as well. Afterlife, the one more right click. Bane going to be able to get himself away from this one. Afterlife not able to send Miposhka to the Afterlife whatsoever.
So every single stat of Bane increased by 1. I think if it wasn't, he actually dies there. But yeah, you're kind of seeing in this lane a hero with no armor against a 220 physical damage nuke, and then you have the armor reduction from the Acid Spray. It's almost impossible for Gilgir to play here.
Yeah, would you expect Yatoro, Gilga getting some denies him, but would you expect Yatoro, is this straight into the Grieval's Greed after this, or does he go for another point into the Unstable Concoction first?
No, it's acid spray. You always max out the acid spray. You might get
Right.
the Grievous Greed on level 3, but you're always gonna max out this spell because it allows you to stay in the lane longer and it allows you to farm stacks. So you cannot be greedy, even though that's the kind of the name of your hero, right?
Yeah, and mid lane, you can see that Aincrad taking some harass coming out from Lal now as well. Lal with the 2 points into the Scatter Blast, and Aincrad, he's taken a couple to the face, so, you know, some damage, but he does have the water and has that bottle available to him as well. So in this mid lane, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see how that's going to go. But Perk, with all the mobility in the world, should be fine. Top lane, though, Afterlife's going to be chased down again. Another unstable concoction trying to break the vision, but he walks himself right into the path of the Alchemist. And Alchemist going to be able to get that kill. Did go for the point into the Grievous Greed. At level 3, Maposhka might go down here, trying to keep himself alive with the stick. But yeah, it just keeps Gilgar in range just for another unstable concoction to come off cooldown. And this is going to be another kill onto the Tiny. Tiny, no way out.
I don't really know what Gilgir was doing while they were killing Afterlife. I think he was maybe going to block the camp or something. But this movement, not to be there to save Afterlife initially, and then staying close again, eating those nukes over and over again, it's... I just called him out on his not that great laning performance, but like on a Tiny, he knows what he does. Well, it seems like he got surprised in this one.
Maposhka does finally go down to the Afterlife, being able to get off the Spirit Siphon. It looked like it was max range there as well. There's another unstable concoction going to be thrown out onto the Death Prophet. So Death Prophet just taking a lot of damage, even coming back to the lane with the Spirit Siphon here. Afterlife has to be careful, but Aincrad, what's he going to do? Just dive himself away to... Did he get the other one as well? No, he didn't. So it's just going to be a 1-for-1 in the waters.
Again, there was that robotic, and actually, I was told by Automo that it was happening to me. So maybe Discord just likes to play a little bit with us overall. But yeah, you talked a little bit about the mid lane, and it is relatively a close matchup, but the Snapfire should always get slightly ahead. Laurel being that good with the Snapfire, and Aincrad probably not playing against the hero all that much in pubs, is always gonna give a solid advantage to Laurel here.
Bottom lane, how's it going for Mankushi here as well? Collapse. I mean, there's going to be a really nice stomp to the Abaddon. The Abaddon's out of mana now as well. Telekinesis comes out. He does have himself a couple of mangoes if he needs to get that Aphotic Shield off and Collapse. Taking a lot of harass damage. Pantomime now as well. He might even be able to get the kill into Collapse. Collapse can to get himself away from this Mankushi. He's maybe just waiting for this Aphotic Shield to break. And he might be able to get the kill onto the Centaur. The Centaur is so low. Will go down here as the refresh comes out from Mankushi.
Plant trees to save lives, but in the end, it just wasn't fast enough from Collapse. It is interesting. Collapse is going for a Meteor Hammer, so we are gonna be seeing that one, and yeah, Gilgir is gonna die again.
Yeah, setting up again. It did get the kill onto Maposhka, but it's again just the space being created for Yatoro here. He's top of the net worth, and the Alchemist, even with only 1 point in the Grievous Greed, that's not going to slow down anytime soon.
Yeah, but still, he isn't getting all that much CS. He has 5 kills, though. That is a problem, because the Team Spirit have 5 kills and all of them are on Yatoro. But overall, he's not farming that well currently in terms of CS. So the top lane isn't a disaster for one move, and this game it is definitely a different story than what it was in the previous one, even though people are dying on top over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, the Nightmare comes out. The cookie came through there as well, but there's just that little the iframes on the Nightmare now as well. And Gilgar trying to run himself away from this one. The Cook already back in the mid lane. Double Avalanche comes out, and it looks like they're going to give up the kill onto the Tiny.
Yeah, mistaken. Mira is being chased down there by the Enchantress, and with the help of Mankushi, that should be a kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of Centaur Stomp, but the Centaur Stomp comes out from the Conqueror. They were able to get the kill onto Mira.
If you're okay with one guy from the family, doesn't mean that every single one of them is gonna like you. That's Mira found that one out the hard way, though. That's always important for Dota to teach us life lessons as well.
Yeah, and it's just going to be another life lesson as well. Maybe, just don't get that caught out. I mean, the Rubik, he was on his own side of the map, so it wasn't even like he was out of position as Telekinesis comes out. Mankushi not running towards his tower, actually going to run away with the ultimate kisses. He's not even level 6, so he doesn't have the borrowed time just yet. And Lol will be able to pick up the kill. Do they get anything out of this, though? There is going to be the Dream Coil coming out onto the Rubik. Cookie comes through, but the Meteor Hammer, it actually connects after the phase shift from the Puck. And Puck needs to leave. They do get the kill onto the Rubik with Aincrad in the trees. And Collapse trying to chase down now. The Centaur's jump comes out. Do they get the kill? They do. And Lol picks it up with the right click there as well. He's got that Scatter Blast as well to come out into Pantomime. Pantomime trying to heal himself up. The 1 point into the nature of the Tendons. But is it going to be able to get himself out alive? It looks like the Cookie, it won't be able to connect there, and Pantomime will be able to plant himself out of danger. Turning onto Collapse, even has himself a Warpine Raider with that Acorn shot there as well. So Collapse going to take a little bit more damage. Is the impetus. Is he going to be able to get the kill at level 1? Ooh, it's going to be close, but it's not going to be enough, and Collapse turns back into it there as well.
Yeah, very nicely done. Yeah, so, yeah, Collapse is that good that he can connect with the Meteor Hammer onto the Puck without any setup. So he's just a genius that cannot be beat. Yeah, that's what actually killed the Puck there. If he had gotten himself out on the orb before the Meteor Hammer, they don't have the damage. He gets another orb out, and he gets out alive. But unfortunately, he gets hit by that one. I thought it was optimistic, but Collapse gets it in the end.
Yeah, I like this as well from the Tiny, that he knows how bad a time he's having on this top lane, so he's just starting to rotate around. And Amira, he's already used the telekinesis, so again, the Avalanche will connect. Was that toss back there as well? The orb to damage Amira, he's just going to go down. Aincrad picking himself up his first kill of the game, though.
One thing that we haven't talked about is invasion of the jungle by one move. And they actually have really good heroes to do so. Just to walk around the jungle and make the Alchemist feel uncomfortable. Even the supports that are stacking to make them feel uncomfortable as well. So I think one move, they actually have a pretty good lineup to be annoying to Yatoro. But what tends to happen is if you're a weaker team and you're playing against an Alchemist lineup, one move goes bad and you kind of give up on that one. So I'm hoping that they just continue to apply the pressure.
Yeah, and at level 6 now as well, you see Yatoro's being pushed away from the Death Prophet with the 3 points of the Spirit Siphon. 1v1, Afterlife has a really decent time here in the lane, it looks like, at the minute, up against the Alchemist, because the Alchemist not really hitting any major power spikes in terms of items. He is going to be looking towards the stack. This is going to be a really nice stack as well, to get him closer towards that Radiance, especially with the 2 points into the Grievel's Greed. Just trying to do what he can with the Acid Spray to help him farm up. So the gold will be there eventually, but at the minute, Death Prophet having a decent time in the lane.
Huh? What broke that sleep? I'm not sure about that one. Did he use the Aphotic Shield? Yeah, he did. Okay. Okay, I'm guessing that was the case, but that is a really nice setup for the Meteor Hammer if Miposhka and Collapse start playing together.
Oh, top lane though, they're going to be able to get the Dream Coil onto Yatoro. Can he get himself away from this? He's trying to buy time, but the orb comes through. Aincrad able to get the kill there, and yeah, Yatoro being down for the next 20 seconds, that's really going to hurt his farm.
Yeah, for sure. Though, one move, they don't find the ward there in the jungle. Actually, it seems like the action will be never ending because Spirit want to make something happen in the mid lane, but Cavalry is coming over.
I love that drag back here. There's going to be the toss as well. The Wildwing Ripper able to set up, and lol, yeah, 4 heroes setting up. He's going to go down. No way out there for the Snapfire. Oh,
they're playing really well right now on one move, and fast at that as well.
Yeah, you can see the Stampede's going to be used here. They're going to try and get the chase down onto Munkushi. Munkushi, it's a borrowed time. It's already been used here. They should be able to get the kill. Telekinesis. And Mira will be able to secure it onto the Abaddon.
He was so close to getting the Aphotic Shield off. He gets it off, the Puck goes onto that orb, and they get a kill. But even so, even you losing the Abaddon, that's a solid committal on Team Spirit, and they lose the mid lane tower. So overall, one move there, happy. They've opened up the map to be able to invade the Alchemist jungle, because Alchemist, when he becomes a problem, 15 minutes plus, that is when he farms. From 15 to 20, 25 minutes, that is when you need to stop him, and you need the map to be open for that to happen.
I love that from Gilga there as well. The Avalanche, just to make sure, because Yatoro, he was trying to deny that tower. They've got a really nice ward behind where the tier 1 tower was as well, but Gilga comes in with the Avalanche. Just make sure he gets the last hit on the tower, just for that extra little bit of gold. And Yatoro now, it looks like Gilga's just sticking to him. So they're pulling the Bane over, you know, putting him out of position, because I think Bane and Poshka level 5, nearly level 6, wants to try and get aggressive, you know, get that Fiend's Grip off, but he's having to protect Yatoro in his own jungle.
It has to be that way. So many heroes to invade, so many heroes to be close, and Team Spirit don't really have like amazing burst on other parts of the map, especially playing against the Abaddon. You know, Munkushi, one good side of, well, among other things, you know. A good side of the Abaddon is that you can stay in the lane for a very long time, take the damage for a very long time, and expect a rotation, right? And that is what he's doing. He's on the bottom lane, pulling some heroes to him. One move, they send the enchantress in the enemy jungle, they pull one hero to her, and then the alchemist is alone, and you can go for those moves to kill him. So one move right now, they actually have a really good tactic and approach to make sure that Yatoro can't farm all that safely, especially not without help.
Yeah, and bottom lane, there goes the meteor hammer there as well into the tower. Munkushi taking some damage, but this time will have that borrowed time. And what do you try and do to play around this borrowed time here on Munkushi? Because it is just going to be popped from Collapse. Collapse just keeps getting the aggro out. So do you just let this go and, okay, it's going to be the relocate coming in from Ankrat. He wants to come down, help out his teammate. Dream Core will be used by Collapse. Big tanky boy at the minute with this meteor hammer. There's even going to be the rotation from Lyle. They're looking for the kill. And Ankrat, can he get himself away from this? The Mortimer kisses are going to be dropped, but it looks like they're not going to find a target.
Other part of the map, Yatoro started going for the unstable concoction. He got stunned by the center conqueror from Pantomime, and he couldn't get it off. And now they're gonna return a favor because of it, and actually maybe even kill Miposhka. He does have 9-1 charges, so maybe he survives here.
No, it was close, but close again only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And well, the centaur stomp. It's one horseshoe you don't want to be coming across here in this game. Gilga trying to run himself away from Collapse. Again, the Stampede has already been used. Pantomime gets involved with the Centaur. Stump comes out the cookie into the Meteor Hammer, but no, the Avalanche from Gilga. It stops it and puts Collapse in a really bad position here as well because he is low health. And with the harass damage coming out, the magic damage now as well. Gilga trying to catch up with Toss right on top of him. Even the pig pole here, Collapse. He will go down and Aincrad picks up the kill.
You know, even though Meteor Hammer is pretty good right now, it always seems a little bit memey when people are using it that way.
Oh, they do get the kill onto Afterlife though. Afterlife coming, gets onto the secret shop trying to buy something up, maybe, but yeah, just gets caught out and killed off.
Yeah, not sure what he was doing there alone. I think he wanted to continue playing fast, but his teammates were out of mana, so no resources. So he probably said something, and I am gonna guess that's a communication issue, that he just came up to that high ground. No way you get out of that one alive.
Yeah. Especially with what looks like all 5 heroes there from Team Spirit, you know, looking to get the engage off. Alchemist now, Yatoro, he does have that Radiant, so he's going to be able to get that acceleration on his farm that it's accelerated already with the Grievel's Greed. So here for one move, what do they need to do to play around this Alchemist? Do they want to try and carry on getting aggressive, or is this the time where they just back off on Munkushi, let Munkushi get that Radiance up, and just play for time at the minute?
Force things towards the top part of the map. If you're constantly being forced towards the bottom part of the map by Team Spirit, he's gonna farm the triangle and his big jungle on Yatoro. You cannot allow that. Make sure you're playing on the top part of the map. Then if Team Spirit move into your jungle, you smoke there and you fight. You cannot slow things down now. Remember, 15 to 20 minutes, that's when the Alchemist gets super far ahead, and then he ends the game. Well, it's what's happening right now, because Yatoro, he is so far ahead of anyone else on the map.
Yeah, you can see the net worth difference. Even above Lol, who's the second in net worth, you know, he's, what's that, 3.5k above. And obviously you expect this from the Alchemist. He comes online a lot quicker, but it means that he hits his max peak a lot quicker there as well. So if one move can play this, maybe a little bit, like you say, forced towards the top lane. But Munkushi, how far away from his own Radiance is he? He's still about 1,000 gold away. So Munkushi just looking for the uninterrupted farm, it looks like, in that dire part of the map.
And this is the problem with an Abaddon. Once you get pushed out of your lane, you know, the good part that we're talking about, and you get forced into the jungle, your farming capability is non-existent. You have very low mana, so spamming the Aphotic Shield is not an option. So until he gets that Radiance, this is going to be very slow for him.
Yeah, again, it's still about 900 gold away. In fact, he buys out for a full wand as well as a clarity. So they actually want to move themselves into the Roche pit with the Exorcism here. And this is going to be, gets Munkushi getting himself that lifeline with the... do you actually pick it up onto the Abaddon with the borrowed time? Or maybe do you give it over to the Puck or the Death Prophet here?
I think you give it to the Puck. Double life on Abaddon isn't that great because your borrow time is already going to be used. So Aincrad is probably going to get it, and Munkushi, I mean, he's still going to farm for some time right now before he joins.
Yeah, and again, the full one does come out, so that sets him back a little bit on the Radiance as the Alchemist just continues to farm. The Aegis does go the way of Aincrad. He even gets himself a double damage rune here as well on that Puck.
So at least one move are moving towards the top part of the map. That is nice. Team Spirit, of course, are slightly faster, so they're immediately forcing things even deeper on the bottom side of the map. By being deep on the bottom side, you are allowing Alchemists to farm safely on at least 3 camps.
They even find out that most of the kisses are going to rain down here on Afterlife. Afterlife Stampede comes out, Telekinesis now as well, but the Fiend Script comes through, and Mira, was that Stolen Spirit Siphon? It was. You get the kill onto the Death Prophet now as well. Enkrad, I mean, Lal, he's in a little bit of trouble. The Santos it comes through to get the control onto the puck. That's going to be the Aegis being popped, and Lal's going to the TP, but no, the Avalanche is going to stop it. They get the kill onto Lal. They even get the cliff out onto the Centaur, and Centaur, he was close, but he won't go down just yet. He gets the TP off to safety.
That was so close in terms of heroes dying, right? Because Death Prophet barely dies because they had to commit even the Fiend's Grip there at the end. And then Alarl, he got his Guardian Grease. He got the he got it assembled and delivered a second before he was about to die. So he just pops it, right? He gets his HP back and he survives just a little bit longer to be able to get the puck Aegis down. In the end, it's a 1-for-1, but you do get the Aegis down, and guess what? Your Abaddon was part of the fight, whereas Yarrow is just getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he just continues to find time and space here now as well. And the Centaur... So the Centaur going for the Meteor Hammer means that he completely skips over the Vanguard. Going to be going straight into the pipe. Do you still think that's a good idea, or would you like to see him go back for the Vanguard?
No, physical damage here is, you know, pretty non-existent. The only thing that comes to mind is the Death Prophet, and that is the one that you are going to be trying to burst every single time.
Okay. And we're gonna see it. Gilga, though, could be in trouble. The toss comes out. In fact, they get the cookie, trying to keep this Bane alive, and the Bane, he's gonna go down. In fact, once that Stolen Force killed, it was. They're gonna be able to turn this one around, and Pantomime, he's gonna be the first one to go down in this fight. The chase out onto Afterlife now as well with that Stampede. They're gonna be able to get themselves right on top of Afterlife, and Afterlife trying to do his best with the Spirit Siphons to keep himself alive, but with the Unstable Concoction coming out, the cookie now is up for extra stuns. Afterlife, the Centaur stun once
Big
again.
one.
They even get the lockdown onto the Puck, and Ankrak getting himself away from this. The orb will be thrown out, trying to chase himself, trying to run himself away. Looking for maybe another Unstable Concoction onto the Tiny, though. He get a lot of damage onto Gilga. Gilga, can he get himself away? The cookie, not onto the Puck, and the Puck will be back safely as the Mortimer Kisses once again start to rain down. Gilga in trouble, slowed down, the damage coming out, but Collapse, he doesn't want to be caught out here by the Abaddon. They even get the kill onto the Puck.
Man, I really love that one. Yarrow, he could have stunned the Puck, and most people would have gone for that one, but he turns around onto the Tiny because he knows that Abaddon is behind the Puck. He's immediately going to remove it, and the Puck is out. So he goes to the other side, and they wait. They wait it out by being deep for the Puck to re-engage and then to kill him. That is just a beautiful way for Team Spirit to play. And these guys, one thing that they've always been amazing at is communication inside of a team fight, and it just goes to show here as well.
Yeah, and some really amazing positions as well. Obviously, Lal hanging himself back throughout the cookies. He's got the Greaves as well to keep himself going, keep his teammates alive. And like you say, just the target selection there from Team Spirit, absolutely on point.
Yeah, not only target selection in terms of who's gonna die, but I'm gonna toss this spell to this guy and it might open up something else. It might not, you know. Puck could say, I'm not gonna go for this one, but you bait him in, and that is what Dota is. You're constantly trying to force your enemies into a mistake, and that is exactly what Team Spirit have been doing perfectly throughout this series here, forcing one move into one mistake after another.
Yeah, and Alchemist, what's he got flying out to him there? I think he's just the dagger, but actually wants to be going towards the Orchid to come out. And was that Puck looking in terms of not even anywhere close to something like the BKB? So the mobility that this Puck gets offered to himself with his skills, you know, if he gets silenced out by the Orchid, I suppose you can rely on maybe the Abaddon to help out, but if he gets caught out solo, he could be in a lot of trouble here. Speaking about being caught out solo, Dream Call comes out. Nightmare's going to be there here for Bane, though. Cookie as well. Can he get himself away from the danger? The Sensor Sun once again comes out. What was stolen? It's going to be the heal coming through for the Rubik, but the Avalanche. You get the kill onto the Bane. The Bane buys back, and Sentinel will go down. Getro trying to do what he can here with this Unstable Concoction onto Pantomime. Pantomime, though. Telekinesis, the damage. Is it going to be enough? No. They don't get the cookie onto Pantomime. Pantomime's trying to run himself away. It's not going to be able to keep himself alive with the Nature's Attendant. Now Yatro with that BKB, the chase, and they might be able to get the kill onto the Rubik. Rubik, he's going to get low, but does he go down? He will be going down to Afterlife. Afterlife, he's not going to be too far behind here.
It's okay.
Do you want to disengage? It looks like they do. Even Lal goes down. And one move, they might be able to get the advantage out of this fight.
Oh, they want to get more?
Yeah, no, they're going to
get
a toss back. Absolutely, yeah. And they get the kill onto Maposhka. He's dead for a minute. And this tier 2 just opens right up here for one move.
Well, if Yadaro is not part of the fight immediately, if you don't have a hero that the enemies don't want to commit on, you're going to be in trouble. You know, one move, if their Death Prophet is allowed to stay in a fight for the entire duration of the exorcism, we see how much damage you're going to do. Your Abaddon isn't doing the damage. He's just protecting you guys while with the Radiance doing, you know, slight pokes onto the enemies. And it is the Puck and the Death Prophet that are doing the damage. And Alchemist, if he comes in and he doesn't have the help of the Centaur, you don't have the burst. So that Centaur is actually the main hero of Team Spirit. And with one move killing him at the start of the fight, it was already over.
Yeah, no, I'm used to the Centaurs being absolutely, you know, so survival. Just, they could be hit by a nuclear blast and carry on going here, but the Centaur, you know, collapsed here. He does just seem to be going down a little bit more often. You know, you 1, 4, and 6 here for the Centaur at the minute. And it just doesn't seem to be the Centaur that I'm used to, the big tank hero that survives all the way through the fights.
It is looking like he's not tanky. Collapse is going more of this, I'm gonna blink stun, playing more of a Sand King than a Centaur. But it is what it is.
Oh, they do actually get the lockdown, though, onto the perk with the damage coming through. They should be able to get the kill, and they do. Ankrat caught way out of position here in the mid lane.
So one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is this Alchemist build. Yadro is trying to kill the Abaddon with the Abaddon not getting his borrow time off. So that is what you want. He wants to break him with the Silver Edge, silence him, and then you can kill him. He cannot pop his ulti, and he's broken, so it won't pop itself. But look at Mancucci, he's already going for a Manta style. So this build of the Alchemist, it's not going to be that great for Yadro. I'd much rather see something like an AC.
Yeah, and the Abaddon as well, he started, I can't say catching up because, I mean, he's still about 10k behind the Alchemist, but in terms of fights, you know, he is absolutely holding his own. He's holding his teammates' own as well, coming into this. So Yatoro, he's already used that BKB twice as well, so that's going to be going on cooldowns. One move, do they just need to carry on forcing this issue, you know, forcing Yatoro to try and fight instead of farm?
That part of the game has passed. I mean, Yadro now, he's gonna be insane in terms of farm. There is no stopping that one at this point. But you actually do have a chance of winning team fights right now. So I think one move are in a pretty decent spot overall.
Okay, and we'll keep an eye. I mean, you can see there's going to be a 4-man smoke coming up from Team Spirit. If we take a look at the map, the indicators there as well. They're going to be able to get the jump onto, they get the kill as well, onto the Enchantress. He's going to get really down low. In fact, the Meteor Hammer was going to be channeled there as well from the Centaur to get it off. The buyback comes out from Pantomilo. He wants to get himself right back into this fight. Chases on. Stampede's going to be using Unstable Concoction onto the Abaddon. The chase down though. What can they do? What was stolen? It's going to be the Spirit Siphon once again for that Rubik collapse. So Dream Cold comes out, and it looks like it was broken there by Mira. But can they get Yatoro out now as well? Yatoro, he's a big tanky boy as well, coming out with Chemical Rage, but he's still going to be taking a lot of damage. Has to pop that BKB, the double stun now as well into the Mortimer Kiss. Do they get kill onto Afterlife with that Meteor Hammer as well? There's going to be a lot of damage onto the Death Prophet. He will go down, and Yatoro trying to keep himself alive. Again, less than 2k health here for the Alchemist, so he has to be careful about where he gets caught out on and, you know, getting himself in and out of those fights.
We see a night and day difference, killing the Centaur or not killing the Centaur. One move, they saw that they got jumped. They're like, yeah, last time we won the fight, we can do it again if we buy back. No, you cannot, because Yadro is going to be the one in front. That's the one that you cannot kill. And if you're not killing him, Stampede comes out, Team Spirit resets, and at some point they're going to find the re-engagement to kill one of your heroes. So overall, Team Spirit, they win a fight. It's not going to be a super, like, successful fight where you kill a ton of heroes, but you're still going to be able to spread around the map quite nicely.
Yeah, it looks like the tier 2s are being pressured as well. Lol TP's himself back in because the mid lane, you know, the Centaur Warren was trying to do what he can to that mid lane with the Meteor Hammer. And, yeah, Lol just had to TP back to defend his own tier 2. It looks like they might try and get something out of this, though. Ironcrad, he's in. He's going to be able to blink himself away, but Napoleon's close. Has that Fiend's Grip, and again, if the puck gets caught out here, or in fact Yatoro wants to be coming in, but there's going to be the vision down here with the Sentry. So the self-stun comes out onto the Alchemist. If you want to try and engage onto this
BKB.
Alchemist, yeah, he's not got it for the next 8 seconds, but you can see that one move a little bit hesitant to make the jump here onto the Alch.
Yeah, a little bit of communication problems there because they didn't know if they want to go or not. And considering the exorcism is not going to be up in another 40 seconds, you know that a big team fight is not something that you can take, so you just let it go.
Potka making sure that the Alchemist gets all his vitamins in there with those with the mangoes being passed across, and Alk's not too far away from the, in fact I think he's got it coming out to him now as well. He's got that full Silver Edge.
Yep, so Abaddon now could be in some trouble if he doesn't have the Manta and he gets broken in silence. He can very easily die. Next Roche is going to be big because one move, I feel like they could walk in and pop the Exorcism, and then you are forcing Team Spirit to go into you, but it's still very risky because inside of a pit, a good hoof stomp, a good Mortimer's Kisses could destroy you.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, you see that Team Spirit are grouped up as 5. They're going to smoke up now as well. Centaur, maybe the bait here, but Yatoro, do they have the vision? It's actually with Pantomime force-staffing himself away from this. Do they jump? Do they get the jump onto the perk? Looks like they don't, but he might still be able to catch up both supports and Nightmare onto the Enchantress, so they can chase Sharks onto Gilga. Gilga can get himself away from this one. Even with it's not going to be enough. Sure, it's not going to be enough. It's not. Collapse does get the kill, and now they can go for even more if they want to. Turn around again. The Fiend's Grip is still available if they can get the lockdown onto the perk. Wrench. Again, once again, just trying to prance himself away from the danger here. And one move, looking for the disengage back behind that tier 2 tower, but the tier 2 tower has barely anything left on it.
I really like the disengage from one move because they know we lose more heroes here, we lose the Roche. But Team Spirit cannot really just enter the Roche because they're not that fast at getting it down. So you just let one hero go and you're going to be happy. And back to your question, did they catch the puck? He got the silence on the puck, but Einkrad got the blink off before the Radiance damage kicked in. So that's why he lived, or either it would have been a puck kill before those supports even got caught.
Oh, well, Spirit inside the Roche pit. I mean, there's no Gilga for the next 3 seconds, and one move. They want to try and contest into this because it is actually going to be going down fairly quickly here now as well. The orb flies through Einkrad, and it looks like Spirit. Do they want to try and look for the disengage themselves here because there's no Stampede to come out just yet? Chemical Rage has been used. In fact, they might be able to get a really nice double onto the sports, and it looks like it's going to be Bane at least that does go down. Mira up onto the high ground, looking to get himself away, and will be able to get that TP out.
One move underestimated the damage of Spirit, right? Yeah, they don't have the greatest Roche, but they have some minus armor. Acid Spray and the little Shredder. And if you are not in the vicinity, you're gonna be in trouble. And they just went to the bottom lane, all of them. They were greedy, they scanned out, but if you're on the bottom lane, there's gonna be enough time for Team Spirit to take the Roche down. This is a big hit for one move, because with a Exorcism, you wanna fight around objectives or areas. Now you don't have an Aegis, so holding an area is very hard. And which objective are you actually gonna take?
Yeah, and now that was the second rush as well, and Alchemist is the one that picks up the shard. Oh, let's take a look at the mid lane. Did they get the kill into the Pantomime once again? Centaur, he's going to be dropping that Meteor Hammer now as well. The Telekinesis Pantomime trying to do his best to keep himself alive, and again, the Nature's Attendance, but they don't have the burst down to get through it, doesn't look like, so they might be able to turn this fight around. The Cookie comes out. Did he get the kill onto it? And Mirror does go down. Stampede comes out and Collapse, trying to get his teammates out alive, maybe just buying time for Yatoro to get in, but there will be a sentry down now as well. The blink onto Abaddon, and it looks like Abaddon, the silence. Do they get the kill? Now the 4-star even going to be able to keep himself or the Echo Shell as well. From who is it? Is it Gilga that has it? It is. It's a Gilga that has a Lotus Orb, and they might be able to go into Collapse. Collapse going to get himself away. He cannot. They do get the kill onto the Centaur.
The itemization from Team Spirit now is going to hurt them, because one move have everything to deal with it, especially that Lotus Orb is a big deal, because now you have 2 items on the Alchemist, which are like, oh, I'm going to crush someone. No, you're not, because very easily you can remove the silence. He's even going to be committing onto the Bloodthorn. It's not going to be easy for Team Spirit to get the right jumps. If they do, it's going to be an absolute disaster for one move, but it's just not that easy to get a ton of heroes in a stuns when all of your stuns are kind of single target.
Yeah, and if that fight, maybe if he had Yatoro there at the beginning again, he has that shard from the Rosho, he has that Berserk Potion as well, so he might have been able to go for a little bit more, but one move, as soon as the Enchantress doesn't die, the 3 points in the Nature's Attendance and the burst damage didn't come through to get the kill, they were entirely confident to, you know, just back themselves away. If anyone played out of position, like the Rubik and the Centaur, just look for those kills.
Alchemist is level 20, so when he uses the Chemical Rage, he's gonna attack so fast.
Yeah, and can you get anything out of this now as well? The jump comes in, there's going to be Unstable Concoction onto the Ench, but again, the Untouchable. So even with that Chemical Rage now as well.
Backline.
On the back lines, they're going to try and get this jump in. Munkushi, he's looking for the kills. Yatoro as well, he's looking to try and chase down onto Afterlife, but he's taking so much damage. And can he get himself away from this one now as well? The Stampede is going to be used from Yatoro. He's on the retreat, the chase comes in, and Pantomime the toss forward as well, and Yatoro, he just lost for the BKB. And they've already taken 2 kills here, one move. In this game, they're looking, you know, Team Spirit had a really good time in the early beginning of the game, but at the minute, one move are in complete control of this. Coming onto this tier 2 tower in the mid lane as well.
They didn't itemize to win, they itemized to crush the enemy carry, and guess what? They just have the items to counter those, so Team Spirit now with 6k gold ahead, it's not nearly enough for them to be feeling confident.
No, no, not at all. And I mean, 6k net worth lead when you have an Alchemist in the game. Yes, he's about 12k ahead of the Abaddon, but that just shows that how well One Move have done on the rest of the heroes, just to keep their net worth high and not let Team Spirit run away with this net worth lead.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you're giving everything to the Alchemist because it just has so much more value on him. But now, even when Yarrow finishes, you know, his 6 slot with a Swift Blink and a Basher, it's not like he's gonna be this menace that just kills everyone. Of course, Team Spirit, they just have the heroes like that you could get those AoE stuns, you could get the right jumps, but overall, One Move, they understand what it is that is gonna lose in the fight, and it's pretty, you know, normal for people not to hug during a team fight. So it's not like they have to be thinking about that one too much before they engage. So right now, I would say that Spirit are on a back foot.
Yeah, and how do they get themselves back into that winning position? You know, are you relying on this game going a little bit longer? Yatoro handing out Aghanim Scepters left, right, and center, or do they just? I mean, the targets. Again, I'm praising the target selection not 10 minutes ago, but at the minute they're trying to get the jump onto the Ench, and the Ench is just—he's surviving through everything that's being thrown at him at the minute.
I don't see a timing or a play that wins it for Team Spirit. So the way that you win in these kind of situations is you have a lineup that always has a potential for a play. So it's speed and forcing your opponents into a mistake. The thing is, as the game goes longer, those small moves become more and more dangerous because losing one hero on the map is a big problem. You're going to lose a lot of map control because of it. But yeah, that's just the position that they're in. So it's not about items. It's about movement. It's about area control and spell usage. And we know Spirit is good at those. But One Move have tools to deal with every single thing of Team Spirit.
And you look at the way the wards are lined up as well here for One Move. Every single entrance has a sentry on it as well. So if they are looking to engage, I mean, Team Spirit, they are going to look for that engage as well. Let's see what they can find. It's going to be just an illusion from the Abaddon there. So they're going to go for a big wrap through that river. Did they actually
go high ground?
They have a deep ward as well into the jungle. Munkushi, they are going to see him, so they are going to be able to go for this long wrap with the smoke. Maybe just jump onto the Abaddon, maybe get the kill onto him before the fight starts out. Smoke breaks. Maybe away. Yosef comes out tiny though. Pantomime getting some damage onto Collapse. Collapse going to get himself away from this one. He's going to be slowed down by the Enchant. So the Stampede comes through the backlines.
Nice one.
Jumping in. Really good there on the Instilled Concoction. We get the kill onto Pantomime. Finally, they take him down. But they are going to be losing that Bane now as well in the chase out onto the Alchemist. The Alchemist is going to be forced to pop the BKB on that runaway. And Afterlife, he's going to be pretty darn fast trying to chase down Yatoro. It's going to be an immediate Unstable Concoction there just to try and break Afterlife's grip. It's chased down. And they might even still, they are going to still lose a Rubik.
Guess what, Rob? That was that good spell usage for Team Spirit, and it still ended up badly for them. Not even close. You kill one hero, but you're not even close to killing any of the cores.
Yeah, and now the Centaur forced to use the Yule Scepter onto Munkushi, but Munkushi's still looking for the chase down, the blink away from that Centaur. And yeah, no, One Move. They lost the Ench, but they were able to pick up 2 kills onto the other 2 supports on the side of Spirit. And like you say, just turn it around. Even with a good engagement there from the side of Spirit, there was nothing they could do to try and win that fight.
I'm looking at Laurel's items, and he's going for an Octarine Core. I don't know currently, but at some point, this Nafar will need to turn into a right-clicker.
Yeah.
It just has to be that way. If it's not, you're not going to be killing these tankier heroes, especially not the Death Prophet. He has every single item on Afterlife now to survive, especially the Lotus are protecting him from Tiny as well, and his BKB is being delivered. So you need more damage, more direct damage, single target one to bring this guy down in particular.
Do you think the Meteor Hammer on the Centaur was a bit of a trap as well? Because again, we see Collapse is 2, 5, and 10, so he's getting the assists in there. He's got a couple of kills, but for the most part, I mean, he's so vulnerable when he's channeling that Meteor Hammer there as well. And again, 2.4k health, so it's not the tanky hero that I'm used to seeing. Would you have preferred him to go back for that Vanguard? You know, he's got that pipe up now, but the Yule Scepter even coming out here as well for the Centaur for, I guess, a bit of extra setup. Would you prefer a different build?
I don't know. I'm okay with the Meteor Hammer just because it allowed him to get some of the early towers down.
Yeah.
So that's fine for me. I don't think necessarily now, if he has a Vanguard, it doesn't change anything. It still dies very easily. There's always a point in the game where the Centaur becomes squishy. In this game in particular, it just came out a little bit earlier.
Okay. And it looks like one move, they want to group up, look for a pick-off here as well. Yatoro is going to be the furthest one forward as well in the Silver Edge form. So the smoke's going to break, but the vision won't be there. The blink away. Now they're going to be able to look for this re-engage now as well. The Lincoln Sphere actually breaks. They're going to be able to get themselves on top of Puck, but can they get the kill? There's a lot of souls going to be thrown out here as well. They're going to be changing targets. Once again, the Bane will be the target. The Berserker's Punch actually going to be thrown out into Miposhka.
Okay.
Looks like just for that extra regen there as well. Yeah, even the Greaves being committed to try and keep this Bane alive.
Those look like, you know, the kid that doesn't want to eat. Berserker's Potion flying towards him. Here comes the, you know, here comes the airplane into the tunnel, and then the cookie as well. In the end, they do feed Miposhka, and he's gonna survive because of it.
Yeah, but that's a big commitment to throw out just to keep that Bane alive.
So at least he survived. He did have a gem, so considering that we talked about vision and movement being the way the Team Spirit have to approach this game now, because they're probably gonna be weaker until ultra late game, and even then it's debatable if that changes. You need to keep those tools that allow you to have some extra map control to yourself. So I think it's actually fine that you're keeping him alive.
Okay, and how does he get the Fiend's Grip off through all of this? Because it just, I mean, obviously being the stable target, he doesn't have that Ags as well. He doesn't, well, he's just picked up the Glimmer Cape, so that's going to be, you know, a nice touch for the Bane. But the Sentry's being dropped because the Alchemist already had that Silver Edge, you know. Is this a priority for the Bane at any point, or is it just keeping himself alive, you know, throwing out the control with the Nightmare as well as the Enfeeble?
You don't use the Fiend's Grip until the fight is breakdown. Even though it means you're gonna die without using your spells, just don't do it. Because the second you use it, they start running towards you. If they're together, they have so many ways to break it. So just make sure that you keep yourself alive, that you keep your teammates alive, make sure that the fight is long, and wait for one move to move away from each other. Then that is when the Bane strikes.
Okay, well, we're going to see another smoke coming up, but it breaks in the trees. Ankrat is going to be able to get that phase shift off. No Meteor Hammer this time. And Ankrat's just going to be able to get the blink away, easily breaks that smoke. And, yeah, Spirit probably not going to be happy about that. There is going to be two still smoked up, but for the most part, one move aware of where Spirit are. And just looking to take this high ground, keep control of this dire part of the map as well. And it just means that they have access to that tier 2, excuse me, the tier 3 is on the top as well as the mid, if they want to try and force something out, as well as having the control around the outpost. So, Roshan, it could be their next objective.
Spirit are trying so desperately to break the formation of one move. They're trying to jump in, because you jump in on someone, immediately they're gonna start running towards him, and then you can in that moment decide what you're gonna do. And you can see what Spirit are doing right now. They're pushing in the mid lane. They want one move to move from an area. If it's one move controlling an area, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but look at this as well. Munkushi with the attack speed here. He's going to be able to take down this tier 3 before the tier 3 tower in the mid lane even takes any pressure from the Tiger Spirit. So they are going to be forcing these the TPs back, and Munkushi hitting himself out. Wall was stolen, the Lotus Sub comes out, so the stun right back onto the face of the Alchemist. And it looks like inside the base, one move, they want to try and turn this one around. And yeah, force Team Spirit back.
Rubik got the Aphotic Shield. That is good. That is actually really good, because it allows Team Spirit to go in and out a little bit more than they did previously. And immediately they go for a smoke. They have a tool now they didn't have previously, and the enemies are on the retreat. If you catch them on the retreat, if you catch them when they're switching lanes, that is when you're strong. The problem is they're just going to walk into Roche and they're together once more.
Yeah, Collapse. They have some vision with the Subverve Ward being down, so Collapse, he's looking for the long wraparound. Look for that stun, but it's, in fact, he's giving the engagement up from Ankrat now as well. That all flies through. They're going to be able to get the kill onto the takedown Mira almost immediately here now as well. Can they get a kill onto Gillia and Revenge, though, as the multiple cases do start to be dropped, but it looks like they're going to be cancelled off, and still Gilga with that load so able to keep himself alive. And yeah, Alchemist, he might even go down. He's going to go down, and he has to buy back if he wants to get himself back into this. The chase out onto Collapse. Collapse going to get himself away. Sensor Stun comes out. It doesn't matter. The Manta Style is going to be there. They get the kill onto 3 heroes, and all of a sudden this opens up the mid lane here. And one move, they're not even going to go back for Roche. They're just going to march themselves up the mid lane, maybe try and force out some buybacks.
Considering that there's just such a huge difference in strength between the teams right now, I don't know if it would have changed anything, but you had that one thing, you know, the stolen Aphotic Shield that we talked about, that kind of gives you, you're slightly stronger than you are naturally, and your Rubik just instantly dies. So at that point, the fight is 100% over, and Team Spirit, they try to disengage, but just to no avail.
Well, they are going to be able to take at least one lane of Rags with the Puck pushing in the pressure on the lane as well. This is going to be a double. And yeah, no buybacks coming through here. This is, it can't be Megas because there is still a tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, but Mira being forced right back to his farms, and they might even be able to get the counter on Maposhka. Does he have enough to keep himself alive with it? A Photic Shield on the Rubik there as well. It looks like they are going to be able to keep that Bane alive, but Munkushi just jumps himself right back in onto the Bane, and the Bane's going to go down. He's just straight up dead. In fact, yeah, one move, they don't want to be leaving the base here. They're putting the pressure on. Buyback comes through from the Bane. They maybe want to try and look for an engage here. Gilga, Meteor Hammer. Nope, Yule Scepter comes out with that extra control. What are they going to be able to do with it? It's the tiny cookie. It wasn't even the stun. The cookie wasn't on target. And Gilga will be able to get himself away.
They really wanted those buybacks. In the end, they only get one. But the thing is, the game is the same. If you're one move right now, you're playing around the Roach, maybe you're slightly afraid of fighting without the Exorcism, but it doesn't seem that way. I think even without it at this point in the game, they're more than confident to win a fight. And look at Team Spirit, they can't go to the Roach.
No, they just have to push out this mid lane. I mean, the top lane will be pushing as well. This is going to be a free Roach on it. Looks like inside of one move. They get themselves a refresher, so that's the second Exorcism as well. More charges on the Spirit Siphon, the Crypt Swarm's coming through. And yeah, all of a sudden, Afterlife, he looks pretty darn scary. Almost unkillable to me, though, with that refresher as well as the BKB and the Aegis.
One move, just like their name, they only need to make one more move in this game. Literally just walk towards the bottom lane. You're seeing that they're drawing the lines there. It's Afterlife that's making the call. Just move there as 5. Do not break formation. There is nothing that the enemies can do. This game is over. Just go and end it slowly. You wait for all of your resources that are going to be up right now, and you just go. There is nothing that can stop you.
No. And yeah, one move, they can just move themselves. I mean, Spirit, what can they do really? Because they have to defend the base. If they come out of their base for any length of time here, it's not like the Alk has the old poor man's Naga build where you're looking to... In fact, did he get rid of the Radiance as well? I think he did.
Yes. Yep, he disassembled it and made a nullifier. So he just wants to have this 6 slot. Now he finally does damage, really solid damage. So if he isolates a target, he can kill it really, really fast. But the thing is that if he had this build 10 minutes ago, fine. At this point, with so many items, AC coming out, Shiva's coming out, I mean, one move, I don't even think they're afraid of it.
No. And you can see that they are, like you say, they're not breaking formation. They're playing close together, looking to force out this tier 2, and maybe looking to force out Magas as well and end the game up against Spirit.
We thought Spirit are not gonna be reverting back to their ways of trying things out and then losing here. But one move, they played a pretty solid game. This is how you play against an Alchemist, and they kind of hindered the timings of Team Spirit survive. And I mean, for the last 10 minutes, the game looked easy for them.
Yeah, no, they've been in complete control here. And every time Team Spirit comes in for a fight, it's just not been working out for them. And look at this. Look at how quickly these illusions are taking down the tower as well.
People might not know, but the Curse of Avernus. Oh, actually, they're gonna jump in on Afterlife. Not even close.
He still has that Aegis as well. If anything does go wrong here for the Death Prophet, again, 4 Spirit Siphons, so he's going to be absolutely fine. Just going to be able to reset, come right back in. It's Yataro's face. Yataro trying to do what he can, but has to be chased away. Yeah, like I say, the Shivas comes out here, and the Alchemist is going to be taking a whole load of aggro. He tries to chase down here on the side of one move.
Yataro has to put a hate on himself, because if it goes for the Raxus, you're gone.
Yeah. And you can see that Gilga, he's just waiting out. I mean, he's in the smoke as well, so it's essentially not even going to be able to see him. He's waiting for that big jump in from the sides in case they look for the catch out. Yatoro again. Oh no, they're going to be able to get the Hex off. To get the control of Gilga. Do they have the damage to take him down though? Gilga, there's going to be Abyssal Blade now as well. The Fiend's Grip comes out. Almost immediately going to be cancelled off though. They get the jump in. And look at how quickly the, one move response to this. Not even going to be able to get the kill onto the support Tiny. In fact, Yatoro, he's going to be close to going down himself. Can he survive through this? They might still be able to get the kill onto the Tiny. Will they be able to? No! They take down 2 on the side of one move, and they don't even lose Gilga. Team Spirit, they just call it GG.
Yeah, that was... I think Team Spirit just wanted to kill him and call GG. Because the way that kill itself was going, you start being aware that you're helpless. And that's kind of what Team Spirit felt in this one. They're gonna be ready for game number 3, because one move, they really stick it to them. I mean... you play an Alchemist lineup, you miss a timing, one move, they played a pretty solid game in terms of movements. There were times where Team Spirit forced a little bit too much, and
Yeah.
they did create space for the Alchemist, but they allowed one move to get back into the map. And still, every single point in this game matters. From the very start, with the early mid lane tower falling, with the early top tower falling, with the ability to invade the enemy jungle early, all of those things came into play, and in the end culminated in their victory.
Yeah, and we saw I mean, the Alchemist had a really good start. I think he had something like 5 kills in 10 minutes, the first 10
Yep.
minutes or something like that. And throughout the entire game, he only had 7 kills altogether. So that just shows how one move played around. They didn't let Yatoro get any free kills after the laning stage. They played around it well. Munkushi coming in 10-2 and 10 to finish that game there as well. And still, net worth wise, way behind the Alchemist, but the amount of control that one move had, they didn't need that net worth gap to close it onto Yatoro, because everybody else in the side of Team Spirit just weren't getting anything from the items he had, from the net worth he had to play around with.
Yeah, I would want to know if Yadro went for a classic build that is going to make not only himself stronger, but his teammates as well, like an AC, if it would have changed. Probably would have given them more of a shot, but they felt at one point in that game that they were unstoppable, that they were going to crush one move, and they didn't. And also, one correction, Rob, he had 5 kills 5 minutes into the game. 5 minutes into the game, Yadro had 5 kills. If you remember, we were like, what the hell? He has 5 kills, the only ones on his team. And yeah, in the end, as you mentioned, he only gets up to 7. That is a big hit. Means that the Alchemist just didn't do anything in this one.
No, and now one move, they've got that confidence to move through into the third and final game. Team Spirit, they maybe try and return to, like you say, if you draft a little bit too much out of the heroes that you used to with the Alchemist, with the Bane, the game maybe gets out of hand. But one move looking really confident coming into the third and final game. And Team Spirit, they've already lost that unbeaten streak. They can't go for a perfect season, but they could look to close this game, the series out in 3. But one move, they have the belief. Why can't they beat Spirit here coming into the third and final game? And we're going to be finding out how it's going to go in the third and final. But first, guys, we are going to be taking a break, so we'll see how it's going to go right after this.